In this video, we're talking about how to communicate better in a relationship.
So stay tuned. So when relationships get into trouble, usually the number one reason, besides infidelity, that's a big one, but communication is usually always there when lack of communication.
Any survey, any study we've ever seen from our own client file cases and so forth, doesn't matter what source it is, communication's always near the top when a relationship's in trouble.
And the problem usually is that you've got two people with two different desire systems. They want different things, and they can't see how the other or why the other disagrees with them. And
when we're trying to communicate with the other person that we're in a relationship with, doesn't matter really whether it's an intimate relationship or a friend or a family member, somebody at work, doesn't matter. But when we don't communicate, we're stuck in our own thoughts and our own ways of thinking. A lot of times we don't think this is the case, but we're really not opening to listening to each other. They're not open to listening to you. You're not open to listening to them because, like Susie said, we're coming from our own set of desires, our own wants, our own needs, and that's kind of one of those things that's driving the show in your relationship.
So here are 3 ways to make your communication better. And the first is to recognize your communication patterns. We all have patterns. Well, he said this, and I am doing this, or I say this, or she wants to talk about this, and I get mad.
This is also where the push, there's a pusher a lot of times and a puller. There's somebody who's maybe more loud and more aggressive and somebody else who's more quiet and, withdrawn.
Or somebody that wants to talk over a problem, and the other person wants to get a little, a vision about it, step back a little bit so they can think about it and then talk about it, or not talk about it at all. So you've got all these variables. So just stand back and recognize what's your pattern with your partner.
So that leads us to the second way that we're talking about, which is to really take a look at what is your normal way of responding when you're communicating or you're talking with your spouse, your partner, your lover, the other people in your life. Is look at what's normal for you, and in this situation, is that working? That's really important because we run on automatic pilot so much of the time that we don't realize what our normal way of responding is and whether that's getting us what we want or not.
So it might be normal for you to get defensive if your partner says something about a certain topic. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about here. And number 3 is listen and ask for more information. If you don't understand, don't just jump to conclusions. I think that's a big one when we're talking about communication, is jumping to conclusions, but really sit back and listen.
If you want to know how to communicate better in a relationship, one of the things about communicating better that's going to be really helpful to you is slowing down, and really taking a look at your ways of reacting like we're talking about, and also making new choices, because this is so huge of really slowing it all down, because it's those split-second reactions a lot of times that really trip you up, because, he says something, you think something else, and then you're sort of off to the races and you're back in your old familiar pattern. So don't do that. Don't do that at all. So if you like this video, you should absolutely subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. That way you'll get notified of all of our latest videos. Also, be sure and subscribe on our website at susieandotto.com, because we've got a free ebook for you there, which is Passionate Spark, Lasting Love. It's like stereo there, Susie. Loved it. And so go there, get our free ebook. We know you're going to love it. You need a whole lot out of that, and that's going to help you connect deeper, have more passion and love in your life. And once again, we're Susie and Otto Collins, and as always, Open your heart a little wider, connect deeper, and do whatever it takes to keep your love and the spark in your life alive and well.